When a self-created crisis or a scandal emerges, change the subject, even if the new headline is less than flattering. It just reminded us that under this president, patriotism doesn't apply to all.
You guys are in town, we're in town. Okay, let's sit down and talk. What are you afraid of?
Of course. And
if you could trust what your team would say.
If you only wanted to be appearing to be a responsible public servant, you would be saying, we're working around the clock to get the show back on the road. But they don't, because I think it's loyalty to the president, I think part of it. I think his fear of the president is part of it, and then the Epstein thing is part of it. And I think also, you're right, they do have this nihilistic view of wanting to blow everything up. We are seeing some fracturing in some ways. I mean, what is going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene saying things that are like reasonable and compassionate and not engaging in spiteful rhetoric? And she's talking about how her constituencies are being hurt.
Her own kids.
Her constituents. Her own kids.
Her own kids.
It's like, wait a minute. Wait. It's the inherent contradiction, I think, of Trumpism, which is that you have the people who bankroll Trumpism want to see low taxes. They want to see the government destroyed, like the Silicon Valley teal types. They nihilistically want to see the government destroyed because they think government is useless and they want to keep all their money. And then the people who vote for Trump, who actually vote for Trump, they're in red states. They rely on federal funding more than they actually realize. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the inherent political contradictions of Trumpism, and we're seeing it come to roost now.
George Conway says, is it just me, or does it seem the press is actually completely terrified to report about Donald Trump's physical and mental health the way it would if anyone else were president? Yes. Thank you, George. Yes, it does occur to me. Okay. Ron Filipowski says the fire hose of easily disprovable lies from Trump and his allies continues to get worse each month, with one statement after another completely untethered from reality, which is why it's so important for them to take ownership and control of media platforms and intimidate others. We just played Pam Bondi blaming Antifa for the slaughter of Democratic representatives by some MAGA idiot in Minnesota. I mean, they just, it's constant, and it's all of them, right? By the way, we were talking about Trump putting out the, the middle of the night thing about Biden sent in the FBI to infiltrate January 6th. When Trump was president, as Joe Walsh says, and who was president on January 6th, his idiocy is always dwarfed by his dishonesty. You can't tell anymore whether it's dementia or he's just lying on purpose because there's, enough of his stupid base that will believe that Joe Biden controlled the FBI when Trump was president. Okay. Finally, this would be a Heroes of Democracy related, guess the quote.
Okay.
Who said it's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole? I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Thom Hartmann accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning. Who said that?
Rich Uncle Moneybags.
No, George Stephanopoulos.
Oh.
Hero of Democracy this morning.
You need to watch.
Can I hear that again?
ABC's this week.
Yes, I think I will. Where is this one? Oh, yes, 13. Here it is.
George, I saw media reports that Thom Hartmann accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Thom Hartmann didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Thom Hartmann accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next. We'll be right back.
Bam! Mic drop. Heroes of Democracy. Thank you, George. Seriously.
George doesn't care about access.
ABC going to bend the knee again? Yeah. Trump going to sue, and they're going to go, oh, sorry, we'll give you some money now because we did journalism by accident.
Defending our nation from the clutches of fascist idiocracy, we proudly present Heroes of Democracy.
Here comes another one. Virginia in Pennsylvania. Hello, Virginia. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Bella and Chris, too.
Hello. Hello.
First-time caller.
Oh, my goodness. Hi.
Hi. Listen, I want to put in a good word for the deep state.
Oh, okay.
I worked for Jimmy Carter and for Ronald Reagan. I was a kid. I was in college. What did I know about politics? I was a registered Republican. Some things improve with age.
Yes.
And I took the civil services exam.
Right.
I went into government. Carter's administration didn't care that I was a Republican.
Right.
And when I continued under Reagan, they didn't care that by then I was basically a Democrat.
Yeah.
And I just feel awful for all these. They're good, hardworking people. They go into it to serve the country.
And by the way, Virginia, they didn't have to do these firings. It's just like everything else he does, just purely out of spite, out of vindictiveness.
I know. And he's hurting everybody, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent. It's just, I mean, I feel like, well, I am an old lady now, but it's like that whole world has changed, and they're firing left and right. Some of the brightest, smartest people I knew, I worked at OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, were in the Office of Management and Budget.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's...
And look what it is now.
Yep, exactly. I got to say, this is in the Washington Post. It's not your imagination. They did a whole piece on how Trump is increasingly targeting blue states. I mean, it's just so despicable. I hope we never have another president like this ever again, no matter what party. His move to cancel project in Democratic states during the government shutdown has prompted furor and cries of partisanship, but it's the only latest example of his administration's efforts to use power in ways that damage blue states and help red ones. He's shifted millions of dollars from the Army Corps of Engineer projects in Democratic-led states, notably here, of course, California and Washington, to Republican-run ones. The DHS is closing 5 of its 10 regional offices, all of them in states that voted for Harris. The White House has also been seeking to block energy projects off the coasts of Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, but a wind project off Virginia, which has a Republican governor, has been left unchallenged. The president has ramped up his plans to send troops into Democratic states such as Illinois and Oregon over their governor's objections. A request for the White House for a comment yielded an automated email saying the response could be delayed due to staff shortages resulting from the Democrat shutdown. I mean, every single thing is partisan with them. My brother-in-law traveled this weekend, and that creepy Kristi Noem video is playing in every airport, blaming no TSA on the Democrats and the shutdown on the Democrats, which, of course, according to polling and everything else, is completely the opposite of what people think. But it's this constant big brother, like, you know. I mean, that's creepy that she's playing in airports and they're forcing people to, you know, government employees to have their out-of-office emails say, you know, this is because of the Democrat shutdown.
It's all part of their sales job to try and convince the American people that it's the Republicans that
and they're all just despicable and partisan. Here's Governor Abbott about Governor Pritzker.
And he's talking about hot dog food and the Milwaukee Brewers. No wonder he's a massive failure. No wonder. Did you see what Pete Hegseth said? He said that Pritzker needs to stop complaining and do some push-ups.
So many things went through my head about Governor Abbott's...
that we don't say, but yes.